You guys, it's finally happening.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
Valve may have just accidentally given us the best indication yet that Steam Frame is almost here, because 8 new Steam Frame videos have just leaked online. So let's go through everything we've learned from the videos. The videos reportedly appeared inside an update to the ARM version of the Steam client before being quickly removed by Valve. But obviously, this is the internet, so they're everywhere now. And there are 8 videos in total, and these videos look pretty legitimate. They're polished customer-facing tutorials, which feels like the sort of content you make when you're about to launch a product. So starting with the unboxing video, we get what appears to be our clearest look yet at what the retail Steam Frame packaging is going to look like. There's plain cardboard, minimal branding, and the side literally says your games. And inside the Steam Frame itself, it shows both controllers, the wireless adapter for connecting the headset to your PC, a spacer for glasses users, and a USB-C cable, and the usual documentation that clearly you can just throw away. I did notice though, it doesn't seem to show a wall plug, but I guess they assume everyone has those things these days. How Apple of them. So I guess this confirms that the wireless PC adapter does definitely appear to be part of the standard packaging here. But one interesting detail alongside the video is that Steam Frame ships in a low power mode or energy saving state. So you're instructed to connect it to power before trying to turn it on for the first time. Now this isn't exactly groundbreaking or anything, but it's not something we've really seen with other VR headsets, I don't think. Valve also spends an entire video explaining how to correctly fit the Steam Frame on your face. And there are a few interesting details here. The headset uses a soft rear strap with the battery position at the back, but you can also pivot the headset itself to change how it sits against your face. And Valve also demonstrates the included spacer for people wearing glasses. And this basically creates some extra room between your glasses and the headset lenses, which we've seen commonly on other headsets. And because glasses inside VR headsets can vary widely depending on the size and shape of your frame, so it can be hard to get the perfect fit, so we'll have to see how these go. I did see somewhere that Valve was offering prescription lenses insert, so if you do wear glasses, that could be a better option. Valve also says you can wear the Steam Frame however you like. So I appreciate the humor. But I guess that shows the real difference between like Valve and Meta. Meta is so dry and serious in everything they do, whereas Valve can definitely laugh at themselves a little bit more. We then also get a dedicated video for IPD adjustment. And IPD is basically the distance between your pupils. And getting that right is very important for keeping the image clear and comfortable. And Steam Frame has a physical adjustment control to move the lenses to match your eyes. But there is a small detail here that I actually really like, because once you found the perfect position, there's an IPD lock, so you can physically lock the settings in place, which is good because it should stop the adjustment getting knocked every time you're handling the headset. But it's one of those quality of life details that make me think somebody at Valve has spent a lot of time actually using VR headsets. We also get a much clearer look at the onboarding of the Steam Frame, and thankfully Valve doesn't expect you to type in a ridiculously long password using your VR controllers. You can use the Steam mobile app on your phone to authorize the headset. And the tutorial shows you the headset displaying a QR code, which you can scan using your phone. And this is probably one of the interesting things from these videos. Valve seems to be trying very hard to make Steam Frame more accessible and feel less like a traditional PC VR setup, especially if you're only using it for standalone. Steam Frame looks like Valve wants the experience to be much closer to a console, which is nice. And I think the wireless adapter tutorial reinforces that. The adapter itself is this small USB device that plugs directly into your gaming PC, and once connected, Steam Frame detects it and asks you to authorize the PC, and a code appears inside the headset. And after that, your PC is essentially paired to the Steam Frame, and it shows you all the available games that you can stream. The adapter creates the dedicated wireless connection that Valve is using for PC streaming, so rather than your VR traffic competing with everything else happening on your home network, there's a direct connection between the headset and your PC. And we've known about the system for a while now, but it's cool seeing the actual setup, and it looks pretty streamlined, which is nice to see. And I think that can be important because Steam Frame isn't just trying to be another standalone headset, it's also Valve's attempt to make wireless PC VR much easier. And that's what I'm really excited for. I'd love to see the PC VR ecosystem thrive again, and I can't wait to see that happen. They also promote it working with the Steam Machine, and I have a whole dedicated video about running VR on the Steam Machine if you're curious. but I kind of expected that maybe the dongle tech would be built into the steam machine, but doesn't appear to be that case. Then we get to probably the most interesting hardware video, and that is the Ergonomic accessories kit for the steam frame. Now, some of this isn't technically brand new, but this leak gives us a much more better look at the actual retail kit. And inside are controller hand straps, an additional top strap, and different light blocking pieces for the headset. The controller straps basically turn the steam frame controller into probably something closer to the Valve Index controllers. They strap around the back of your hand, so instead of constantly gripping the controller, you can actually open your hand without dropping it. And I did love this about the Index controllers, and I'm very happy to see Valve bringing the idea back. The tutorial shows you opening the controller, removing part of the existing assembly, and attaching the new strap directly to it. And I do maybe feel like they've copied the Quest a little bit here in terms of the design. And I've seen a few conversations online about people complaining that it uses AA batteries. And after all my years of using VR, AA batteries can be good and bad for two different reasons. If you go to play VR and your controllers are flat, you can simply just swap out the batteries instead of waiting for it to charge, which is one plus side. But a problem I have seen with controllers that use replacement batteries is that they can wiggle around if you're playing intensive games, and that can affect tracking. So this will definitely be something I will be testing in my Steam Frame review, so make sure to subscribe for when that eventually drops. Now, the other accessory video we see is a top strap for the Steam Frame. And Steam Frame normally uses a soft strap running around the back of your head, but the Ergonomic kit adds another strap running over the top. And what's interesting about this, there are actual dedicated mounting points built into the headset for it. So you just unlock the attachment points, connect the strap, lock them back into position, and then adjust the Velcro to change the fit. And we actually get to see what the headset looks like with the core module removed. And you can see like a little chipset at the top, which connects it to the rest of the module, which is quite interesting. And this is probably one of those accessories I would want because I like a comfortable VR headset. And I've already heard good things about Steam Frame being comfortable, but you want it to be ultra comfortable. And especially top straps, they can take some of the pressure off the front of your face and help keep the lenses in the correct position, especially during longer VR sessions. There's also a video showing the light blockers in more detail. The kit appears to contain different pieces around the nose area designed to reduce light leakage depending on your face shape. And this is a pretty clever idea because one of the annoying things about VR headsets is that a facial interface that fits one person perfectly can leave a giant gap around somebody else's nose. And Valve appears to be giving you another option with longer flaps to close that area off. Personally, I hate silicone attachments around my nose, and I don't mind a bit of light leakage as long as there's no glare, which is something I'll be testing. But again, it's the kind of refinement you want to see from Valve on a second generation product. And this is where I think these leaks get interesting because none of these videos tell us the Steam Frame price, none of them give us an exact release date, and Valve still hasn't opened pre-orders. So I don't think we can say when the Steam Frame is going to launch, but people are saying it's Valve's birthday next week, so that could be something. Who knows? I sure don't. But look at where we are currently. Valve has produced the retail packaging, the onboarding process is finished, and it looks like Valve is preparing to ship. And that's consistent with some of the other signs we've seen recently. Valve has been building out its great on Steam Frame compatibility library. So with everything we've seen, it feels like the Steam Frame is close, which leaves us with one enormous question. Price. Because the Steam Frame looks awesome, but the price will determine how successful it actually is, especially now that we've seen Valve's pricing strategy with its other hardware. And if these comfort accessories are sold separately, how much does the complete setup cost? We know an enormous amount about it and what it looks like, but we still don't know the two pieces of information everyone actually wants. When can we buy it, and how much is it going to cost? And based on these videos, I don't think Valve can keep those answers secret for much longer. So make sure to subscribe for when that review does drop. I've got a Pimax Stream Air review dropping for you next week as well. And come join my Discord if you want to chat more about the Steam Frame news and rumors. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.